So I just got to the land of the giants, is what I'm gonna call it. So I brought my big guns. Dan B will be proud of me. 10.5-foot rods. I brought my G.LOOMIS, this is my float rod. It's a 1262, 10.5-foot medium light. I've got a jig head with a pink haze worm on this one. Got it paired up with an AF6 1/8 ounce. And then this is a rod that you guys have never seen because I've only used it a couple times. It's about 10 years old. I actually bought it to use for like a light salmon bobber rod. So what it is it's a it's a medium heavy G.LOOMIS. It's the 1265 GL2. They don't make this anymore. They pretty much eliminated the GL2 runs, the Steelhead series, which is a bummer because there were some really cool models. I think I've only caught one fish with this, a coho. Really nice coho a number of years ago. I'll show you how I have it rigged up. Water's pretty big today. So I've got Power Pro Super Slick 30-pound test on here. I've got 15-pound test leader. This is Seeger steelhead trout. I've got an this is an AF5 1/2 ounce because I'm going to be using a 1/2 ounce stick weight. I need to get down, and this is a fairly deep run right through here. I've got 15-pound ultra green as my bumper. Get that pulled up a little bit. Doesn't really look like it's going to rain, but I have a raincoat in here just in case. Man, the river's got some color to it today. Man. Looks good though. I'm running a 16mm sweet pink cherry. Okay, I'm gonna turn this off, so I'll see you down on the river. Alright, 135 Nightmare jig. Let's pull it right behind this boulder right here. I switched up to AF7. The AF6 was just giving me fits. I just prefer a fixed float for most of my jig fishing. Lengthening it out. I think this spot's pretty deep. Oh, there we go. Steelhead. Try to keep them in this hole though. Way. No. Oh god, it's a big fish. It's going to put the tail out. Gotta keep it in this hole. I cannot run down. I've got 12-pound fluorocarbon leader. It's pretty strong stuff. Last week I actually bent out an 1/8 ounce jig with this leader. 20-pound test Power Pro Super Slick. I have not seen this fish yet. Can't wait to see it. If it's a big one or a little one. Come on, let me see ya. Looks like a big fish. I'm so glad I put that AF7 on there. Let me see if I can bring it in. Go on the other side of this boulder right here. It's okay. Let's see if I can get it to swim up in here. There we go. Let's see what we got here. It's bumping something down there. I want to see it. I want to see it. It looks like a big buck. I'm so glad it didn't run down. I would be having a real hard time to chase it right here. $135 Nightmare jig. Oh my god, that's a big fish. It's a big slip. Hitting that rock. Oh, that's a big fish. That's a big buck, I think. Let's see if I can get it on the other side over here. He's really wanting to stay behind this rock. Come on. You want to come this way? Oh.
days of operation when I try to get it in there. This fish. It's wrapped up. God, it's wrapped around my rod. I'm gonna have to net it. Dang it. That's the problem with these 10.5-foot limber rods. Is, yeah, it's like I try to get it close. God, if I had another person here, we would have had this thing by now. Dude, oh, it's out. This steelhead. Look at this thing. Hold on, brother. Look at this. Look at that. Oh, wow. Try to get him into the clear water. I don't want him in the sand. Yes! Holy moly! Oh wow! That was a challenge. This is the Hawken 135. It's a Marabou series. Since the water is just a little bit colored up today, I decided to use the Marabou just because it's a little bit bigger profile. But yeah, that's the jig right there. Ah, what a fight. I was so worried that thing was gonna run over. If it runs over, there's no way I could chase it, and it would be really hard to get it back over these rapids. So I just tightened my drag down and held my rod kind of pointed upriver, and it just worked its way back in. But man, what a beautiful steelhead. Well, I'm gonna cut off a few inches because it's kind of frayed. Let's see. Yeah, it's all kind of frayed. I probably could get away with just putting some ultra green on because this is the last piece of fluorocarbon I have. So I'm gonna get retied and try to catch another one. Well, I'm heading back to town. I told Janina that I'd come home so we can actually spend some time together this evening, since I'll probably be fishing all day tomorrow. So here's how I feel about this fishing rod. It is way too heavy, at least with this reel. I kind of blame the weight on the SYMETRE 4000. It feels like it weighs like a pound. It's insane. So it wasn't real pleasurable to fish with. But I had bought this rod about 10 years ago for coho fishing. It's actually a medium heavy steelhead rod. It's rated 10 to 20, but man, what a pain to use that today.
I brought it as my bead rod because tomorrow I'm going to a different river system that isn't really known for as big a fish. And my E6X 1245, which I've been using as my bead rod, is already set up. And I know that's kind of a lame excuse. Just gonna do this number, just so that that weight's not banging around. That's one. So the star of today is this rod. I am so glad I threw it in. It was kind of last minute. Knowing that this was just gonna be my bead rod for the day, I threw this in. It's my 1262. It's a 10.5 foot steelhead float rod. It's medium light, so, and with a moderate action, so it's really spongy. And you know, I ended up hooking that steelhead, landing it on this, but when you got a rod that's this limber with a big fish like that, it just makes it a little bit challenging with that little tiny net. Because you probably saw I would kind of grab up here to try to net, and the fish would run, and it's just so spongy, it doesn't have much backbone to it. But this is a great steelhead rod. It really works well when you're using just a fixed float and a jig. In fact, most of the time I actually just have mono on here, either 8-pound or 10-pound test. So I'm just running this just as a straight jig rod most of the time. So I actually put some braid on it. This is just recycled from one of my Vanfords this last year. And so I threw it in, and I'm sure glad I did. I started out fishing that AF6, and I was just having a little bit of trouble reading it. It's a slip float, and this river has some really deep holes. But what I ended up doing is putting one of these AF7s on and just setting it about 8.5, 9 feet deep, and that was the ticket. That's what ended up getting me the hit. So I'm gonna get my waders, I'm gonna get changed out, but I'm gonna get heading home so I can spend some time with my wife because I'm gonna be gone all day fishing tomorrow. But if you like the video, make sure to give me a thumbs up. That helps me out on YouTube. And if you're not subscribed, consider subscribing. It doesn't cost anything, and it helps me out as well. I try to post new videos every Friday at 6 p.m., but life happens, and sometimes I just don't get one done. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.